So define what you want. What, you know, the best clients have what? Define what your site is, what it should be. Define the functionality. Should I have a lot of navigation? Should I have, you know, a few navigations? Should I be more visual than content? Should I have a blog? And where do you get these ideas, ladies and gentlemen? You get them from looking at other people's websites. You really do. You look at other people's websites and it's wonderful. So, quality designs deserve quality design. A professional image means that you have more than a website. It's like some of the ones we looked at already, which are great. But a website that really helps define who you are and looks as good as you is putting you on display. It's you. It's about you and what people should expect from you. You want to look professional. So, you guys seatbelts are on? Any questions? Let me take a peek. Nope. Good deal. Jeff Lewis. Jeff Lewis was a design that was, this website here was part of our original presentation. And Jeff Lewis is very simple. He's a famous guy, right? He's a designer. He's got some cachet. His website was very simple 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago. This is today. Look at what, ladies and gentlemen, look what happened. Look what happened. This was, I feel like an eye doctor. This was before, this is after. What do you think? This is before, this is after. Okay, which one do you like? Some people will like the first one. Let's think about that. Look at what he's done to it. He's made it all visual. He's got still, you know, he's got his speaking engagement, he's got his navigation, but look how he's changed the dramatic presentation. Instead of one picture, he has 4 pictures. A big picture, 3 smaller pictures, and then he's embedded the type into there. Just a marvelous thought on where websites are going today. This is something you think about. That's why you're encouraged to look at current websites today. You're going to read things like lazy loading or parallax views. You're going to read things like that. So get to know what those are. So when you're talking to your web designer or you're planning your website inside, you know what they're talking about. A great website is in fact visual. You know, the difference, I just tweeted out today, we just got 3 inches of magazines. So, you know, people keep saying print is dead, print is dead. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in the mail today were 3 inches high of magazines. And if you're going to say, well, Jim, that's not a lot. Well, there were only 3 magazines in that stack. In that stack, there were only 3 magazines: Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Elle. Ladies and gentlemen, these were huge magazines. I keep those issues because we subscribe to many thousand magazines or more, because print is one of the most viable ways of communicating, but it's not your website. It's not your website. It should be used in tandem with your website, but the website is different. It's visual. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things disturbing digitally everybody in the world today is video. Your websites must contain video. Why? Because video is a visual media, and people are using video. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you follow the stock market, but media and entertainment stocks are plummeting. You know why? YouTube. YouTube is threatening the networks. NBC, the networks are like publishers, you know, in the past. They have no idea what's going on around them. They're being threatened by you, by me, by everyone in this audience who can now be a broadcast station. Your website is a little NBC. It can have video, it can have commercials about you. It's unbelievable what your website can do. So think visually. And when I say think visually, I want you to think of type as visual and visual as type. It's all the same. It's content. Let's look. Silestone produces a chip, Yukon Blanco. This is, you know, that if you're looking for something on countertops, you may go on and Google something countertops and you see something like this. But one of the things we don't want to do is assume that people understand what we see when we look at something. If you were looking at those websites before, and the worst thing you could do is assume that everybody sees what you see. I can tell you right now that is so wrong. I'll give you a good example. If you're colorblind, you don't see anything what other people see. In fact, I know that because I'm colorblind. I had to teach myself what red and green were when you look at red and green. It's a marvelous experience if you can't see it, because other people see it and they're telling you what they see, and you're looking at them and going, I don't know what you're talking about. So I had to visually train myself to see your red and your green. And when people say, Jim, what do you see when you see red and green? I don't know what to say because I can't give you a reference. So never assume that what you see is what other people see. So for example, if you're looking for this countertop, this was what Silestone did 2 years ago. Great manufacturer, by the way. This is what they did to present that. They showed a very big picture of the countertop with some food on it, you know, a little borrowed interest on the food. Beautiful, beautiful shot with all the different countertops below it, and Yukon Blanco highlighted. A great presentation. Look what they're doing today. They've completely taken the sushi out of the picture. Now, why did they do that? Why did they? Look at how big this Yukon Blanco is now. In fact, look at how many choices more you have, because it's not about sushi. It's nice. Sushi's good. Some people like it, but not everybody likes sushi. Not only that, if you look at this, what are you looking at? You're looking at the sushi, making you hungry. You're not looking at the countertop. So right or wrong, this is what I think happened. They realized that they got to get rid of the sushi and just show the countertop, because that's what designers want. You know, they're not selling sushi. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest mistakes manufacturers, all of us make, I make the same mistake, is we believe that people don't really want what we're selling. So somehow I got to entertain them. I got to get some, what they call in my business, borrowed interest. I've got to get some borrowed in. I got to borrow interest. I got to get some sushi in the picture. Worst mistake you can make. And I think they figured it out, because today they're presenting their vibrant Yukon Blanco. There it is in living color. This is when you enter the Silestone site. Look at how visual this is. Big picture. Now what's he doing on the side? He's actually doing something there, right? Is he eating something? It looks like he's doing something. And you got pictures below, but I want to call your attention to what they're doing here. All this text is very important. Content is king. Content is what Google reads. Content is how you get to page 1. Should I repeat that? Content is what Google reads. Content is how you get to page 1. I'm going to give you an example. After this presentation, I'm going to tell you a website. I'm going to tell you to go to your browser and type in the following words. I won't tell it to them now because I don't want to lose you and have you jump on your browsers and type. So remind me before we finish.